The caveat is that it's my program. It's like what I do with my swimmers.
Yeah.
And so that's different than what somebody else is going to do with their swimmers, and certainly what you're going to do with your swimmers.
Hmm.
And actually, let me go back here, because if I get it correct here, yeah, it's going to be easier to toggle through. Whatever, this is going to be fine, because I'll just go through it in a linear way. But at the end, you'll see, like if I were a college coach, I would be gearing everything not towards the hundreds or not towards, like I do. I'm pretty much 100 through 500, and I
Yeah.
would be like all about the 50s and hundreds if I was a college
Mhm.
coach. And I know that that's how you do it. And so the way that I do this is I'm assigning a point to a distance within my active rest sets. So within like my program, a 25 is 1 point, a 50 is 2 points. I'm using the Fibonacci numbers just to do an exponential thing
Yep.
here. I figure that works pretty well. So I go up to, we do 150s, we're up to 13 points, and 200s and up. I mean, I don't do a ton of like 400s and 500s, although we do them. I'm just going to say it's all 200s and up is all pretty taxing stuff.
Yep.
In terms of how long it takes to recover. So we can call it a TPV, total, what is it? Total pace volume. The total pace volume gives you a number system. We could just measure it within our own training plans. Has to do with neural fatigue.
Hmm.
Maybe you think about it like it's how many sleeps it takes to recover. So like for me, my group's 2.5 is pretty tough. Under 1.0 is pretty easy. And I guess I kind of passed through it here. I take the total points. So I add up the amount of points throughout the set. And I take the total points, and then I divide it by the total minutes of the set. So it has to do with how long the set is too.
Yep.
All right, so let's go into some of these sets here. Well, here's the caveat. This is actually, I had this at the end, but this is actually what I meant to tell you. This was at the end at first, but like for you, it might be something like a 10-yard burst is 1 point, a 15-meter sprint's 2 points, a 25 is 3, a 37.5 is 5, and all the way up to 125.
Yep.
I haven't actually looked at it, and maybe you can check it out with your program and see how it works. So this is 30 50s, but 20 of them are fast. So on the left, you see the math. So each 50 is worth 2 points. And then you get 20 times 2 for 40 points, divide it by 20, and get 2.0. So as I go through, 2.0 is pretty high. That's not that high. It's not super high, but it's pretty high. 40 50s in contrast on 45. It takes 30 minutes. It takes longer, so the math's going to be different, even though it's going to be 20 50s, same amount of 50s. So this one's going to be a 1.3. So the overall ask is going to be less than the previous one, which was 2.0. So 2.0 is a little higher. It's a little heftier, because it's on 40. It's on 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? It's 30 50s on 40. I mean, if you're going, and the given that I sort of passed through at the beginning is that you're doing 100 or 200 pace. So how do I define pace? Oh, please tell me I didn't take that out of here. Yeah, here it is.
There it is.
How do I define pace? Pace is within an active rest set, and this is not within a red pace endurance set. It's all active rest.
Yep.
100, 200, 400, 500 pace. If you're within 5%, like the bottom here, if you're like going for a 30, and if it's a 31.5 to start the set, that's pace to me. So on these types of sets, that comes into play. Then going through, I basically went through my phone. I looked for Tuesdays and some Saturdays. Like I look for active rest days.
Active rest days.
And so here, this is a 1.3. I mean, this set's pretty easy because it's pretty short. They're going every other one fast, but it's like over before it gets tough.
Right.
1.3. So now we're getting into some heftier stuff, like a 300 fast rounds. 2.9. 2.9. Now that's pretty hefty. And so like that one's going to take 3 days to like deal with.
Right.
Right. Like the day after that, I'll do a kick drill swim set. And then the day after that, I'll do an aerobic set. And if I come back and I do 300s for that aerobic set, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Like they might not hit that red pace as easily as they would if I was coming off of a 1.3.
A 1.3.
And that's why I do this, because to like the 1.3 that I showed you right here, like this set here, I do that on Tuesday. I do my kick drill swim style set on Wednesday, and I come back on Thursday and I ask for, you know, whatever red pace. They're going to have an easier time hitting it.
Mm-hmm.
This one, they're going to have a harder time hitting it.
Yeah.
I just have to be aware of it. Now this set here, this next one, my dogs are freaking out because I've got construction on this side and I got people working up there and I'm not letting my dogs outside. So
Gotcha.
they're just like barking at anybody. All right. So this one, the 300s down to the 150s, this is just got a ton of fast stuff. It's like 1500 fast stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're at a 3.6. Now this is a hefty set because, I mean, my swimmers are going like, I've got a girl who, if I remember back to this set, she's doing it free. She's going probably 3 minutes or under on the first one and then 257. Then she's going like 127s to 126s. Then she's going 41s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's like, got to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
You know, 3.6. Now this one, I remember doing this one, like we tapered for every meet this year. So we're always going for trials cuts. It seemed like we were just always kind of like getting ready and doing at least like a 3-day rest. And we were like a week out of it, and me not trying to kill them is this. And so, you know, what's the ask? What's the number on this? Because I knew when we did it, I knew intuitively, like, what is it? Because I know it's not, it's touching everything. Like if you look at the previous one, we're doing the 300s. You look at the previous one to that, we're doing 4 300s. This one I've only got 150 in there, but there's some substance to it. You got some 100 in there. So it's a 1.9. So like for me, maybe if I'm going over a 2.3, you know, or 2.5, I'm like, all right, well, if I'm a week out of a long course meet where we're trying to make an Olympic trial cut, you know, maybe over 2.5 is a little much.
Yeah.
I thought this set was great, the one that I just showed you. All right, so now we're getting into like a week out. Like, well, this is like a couple of days out for me. 0.66, right?
Yeah.
Now we're like way under it. This is another one, every 5th 100 fast, but this set takes 22 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
25 minutes.
0.6.
Yeah. So 0.6, you know? All right, so let's look at the Grant Hackett set. This is interesting. So the Grant Hackett set, this is a typical active rest set, or I always advertise it as an active rest set, but this process that I just went through to make this PowerPoint got me thinking about like this kind of a set, like it doesn't make any sense because it's not a true active rest set. I mean, I get a 0.90 if I do it, if I do the math. I get 32 points in 34 minutes. And a 0.90. It doesn't make any sense. It's 0.90 is too easy. The Hackett set's tough. So I wrote it all in verbiage here, but I'll just kind of talk through it. You basically are going 1150s active rest. It starts off pretty easy, you know?
Yep.
4th fast, 3rd fast. The walls close in, and then you got 550s in a row. As soon as you get done with the 11th fast 50 and you've got 5 fast 50s left in that set, it ceases to be an active rest set.
Right.
And I think, you know, you're probably like building lactate and working on building lactate, if anything that has to do with lactate is happening during the set.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, I think you're not producing it and building it. You're sort of buffering it. You know, you're sort of dealing with it, right? So at the end of it, I think you got to kind of like time out. It's 2 sets. Now you've got a separate set.
Got your active rest, then you got
Now you're doing the buffering. So then if you did the math on that, it's a 56 point in 34 minute thing because I'm taking that last 550s, I'm turning it into a 250.
Mhm.
You know, it's like a 250. It's broken, but it's all this, it's all in a row. And
Yep.
so that turns it into a 1.6, which is still kind of low. It just doesn't make any sense. I think when it's not a true active rest set, this particular way of measuring doesn't work.
Mhm.
So, and then this here, the considerations for the sprint training. I mean, I was thinking about it like, well, what if you just, what if you went 60-25s, you went every other one fast? I mean, it's a lot of fast swimming, but like, how does that equal a 0.50? It just doesn't make sense. Because
Yeah.
that would put you, I think that would crush you for a long time. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that would make them tired.
Yeah. And then, like considerations for sprint training, obviously there's the resistance involved doing that. You guys pull towers?
Yep. Towers, buckets,
I mean,
or
like,
racks, towers. Yeah, racks, towers, and chutes. We mix it up.
I think about that a lot. Like, like maybe the math has to do with percentage of max of the amount that you're pulling.
Yeah.
And there's maybe this is a grad assistant project to actually figure out the math on that. But like to me, this sort of thing really makes you think. Like how much we're actually doing doesn't matter. It's like how much hard stuff and how much hard stuff in the row, how much hard stuff within, a certain amount. And, I'm looking at my stuff, you know, I'm probably not doing too much more than a 3.7.
Yeah.
But man, when we rested. We neurally rested.